Okay, today we are going to practice graphing a few lines. I'm going to begin by reminding you that the slope-intercept form of a line is y equals m times x plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. There are 3 steps to graphing a line. Step 1, we're going to plot the y-intercept on our grid. Step 2, we're going to use the slope as a rise over a run to find more points on the line. And step 3, we're going to draw the line. I am not going to leave this on the screen, so if you need to pause the video here and write this down, please do so. And let's move into our first practice problem. Right, we need to sketch the graph of this line. And our slope-intercept form is y equals 2/5 times x minus 2. The number in our m position is 2/5, so our slope is 2/5. The number in the b position is -2, so our y-intercept is -2. Step 1 is to plot the y-intercept. So this is a y-intercept and this is the y-axis, so we plot the -2 right here. Step 2 is to use my slope as a rise over a run to find another point on the line. These are both positive numbers, so I'm going to rise a +2 and run a +5. Remember, your rise is your up and down, and your run is your left and right. So from this point, I will rise 2 and run 5 and place another plot point. If my graph was larger, I could go up 2 and over 5 again, but I'm stuck with a very small graph here. So I do want to show you that I can go down 2 and backwards 5, exactly the opposite, and that will get me 3 points on the same line. The reason you could do the down 2 and backwards 5 is because if both of these numbers were negative, a negative divided by a negative really is a positive, and so that is a positive slope. Step 3 is to draw your line, and you're going to grab a straight edge, line things up very carefully, draw the line, and make sure you have arrowheads on both ends. The definition of a line is that it goes on forever in both directions, so if you do not have the arrowheads, you have drawn a segment instead of a line. Okay, our second example is going to have a negative slope, and it is right here. We have the exact same 3 steps. This equation is y equals -1/2 times x plus 4. My slope is -1/2. My intercept is +4. Step 1, plot the intercept on the y-axis. So here's my y-axis. My intercept is 4, and I plot it right here. Step 2, use my slope to find more points on the line. This time it's a negative slope, so this negative needs to be attached to either the 1 or the 2. I generally attach it to the numerator unless I'm struggling in the graph, and I'll show you what that means in 1 second. So if I make the 1 negative and the 2 positive, that's a negative rise, so I'm actually going down, and then a positive run. So I go down 1 and over 2, and I can keep this pattern up so that I can draw a nice line with my ruler. And you'll notice that this line is going down and to the right, unlike our last graph, which was going up and to the right. Now I do want to show you that if I had attached the negative to the 2 instead, this would be a positive rise of a 1 and a negative run of a 2. I could go up 1 and backwards 2, and I would still be on the same line. The final step, grab your straight edge, draw your line, making sure you've placed arrowheads on both ends. Graphing a line.